Alright. Let's see here. Now that back up, we can continue on our journey to finish up Tubi Horror Weekend in a late schedule. And we're going to look at 2009's The Unborn, starring Odette Yustman, or Annabelle, what are we going to call her? Gary Oldman, Idris Elba, and is directed by David S. Goyer and produced by Michael Bay. So, yes, it's a Platinum Dunes film. So, admittedly, I only picked this film because I saw that Odette Yustman, or Odette Annabelle, what do you want to call it, was in it, and I liked her Supergirl, and I liked her in, on Supergirl, I liked her in Cloverfield, so, but I did something I don't normally do when it comes to movies. I watched the trailer on YouTube, and the trailer made this look like a fantastic horror film. It looked freaking, I was like, okay, I'm ready to watch this. So I watched it, and you can tell Michael Bay had something to do with this. Now, he also produced Bumblebee, but I think he had more involvement in this one than he did that. The poster is a shot of Annabelle in her underwear. She's on like this side, or this side really, and then there's supposed to be a creepy person in the mirror, but you're staring at her ass. You're not paying attention to the creepy thing in the mirror. And yeah, and there's some things from the trailer that got me, but in this film, like they edited around the bad dialogue, because there's some stuff in here that you get that exposition, and then there's bad dialogue. Oh, is your vagina diseased? And it's like, really? Like, it means your vagina is diseased or something. I'm just like, what? And there's a twist at the end of the film that, to me, doesn't really make any sense. If they revealed this, like, even if they revealed this in the middle of the film, it still wouldn't make any sense. So it's about Annabelle's character, Casey, who starts having these dreams about something coming after her. Now, the trailer tells you the basics. Something's coming after her. Her eyes are changing color. She's asked if she's a twin, and she says, but the eye thing. She's told that the eye thing is known most for twins, so she asks her dad if she was a twin, and that's when he reveals that she was, but he died in utero. So we had her umbilical cord wrapped around his neck, and he died in utero. And I was like, okay, so it's like the spirit, the ghost, or something. Once, like, I forgot about the name. But, like, this creepy little kid, who I think is from the middle, he's like, Blubbo, I don't know, it was Blubbo or Chubbo or whatever it was, wants to live. And then later, she's like, did you name him? And he's like, well, we gave him a nickname, and it's the same name. I'm like, saw that coming. And then, like, this could just be like, oh, the ghost of her dead brother wants her body because he didn't have a chance to live. That'd be something. But this is a Jewish horror film, so they gotta go back to Jewish history, and that's not bad. They go back to Auschwitz, and they say that it's not just her dead brother that wants to come back, it's a dubak, whatever you say, a demon that will possess her great uncle and was killed by her grandmother and tried to take over her brother's body in utero and died, but the brother died before he could do that, so now he's after her. And I spent most of the film confused on how he was going to, is he going to take over her body? Does he want to be born? There are subtle hints as to what's going on. Like, there's a part in the film where she pukes. And it's like, oh, she's pregnant. Okay. And then they don't reveal this until the end of the film. There's a point in the middle of the film where she's like, why is he doing this to me? And then she just doesn't try to do anything. And at the end of the film, that's when we get the reveal. But, well, I'll get to that. She realizes she needs to get a exorcism, so she goes to Gary Oldman, who's playing a Jewish, rabbi. And he doesn't believe her, but he translates this book that she got, thanks to info from her grandmother. But now the grandmother gave all the, now that grandma gave all the exposition she needed, she's gonna die now with some herky-jerky old man demon thing. And okay, so I'm confused. He wants to be reborn within her. But he's taking over other people's freaking bodies. Why does he need her specifically? Because it started in her family? They never actually explain that, I don't think. It has to go to her because the Dubbock came out through one of her family members. Was first born to one of her family members, so that's why. I don't know. And there's a scene where that also doesn't make any sense. The best friend, played by Megan Good, runs over the kid. This kid, the next door neighbor kid that starts okay, so there's a superstition if you show a newborn their reflection, they might die. Is that real? Because I find that to be bullshit. But in the film, this newborn dies because the kid's showing it, And then this kid gets hit by a car, and it's perfectly fine, but tells the best friend, he will kill you if you help her. And of course, Thing tries to kill her, showing up as the kid. But here's the thing. We are shown later in the film that any damage done when the Dubbock takes over your body, Idris Elba is taken over by the Dubbock and is smacked in the back of the head with a lead pipe and dies. The boyfriend is flung off a balcony and dies from his injuries. Yet this little kid can get hit by a car and be perfectly fine. But plot convenience, because if you kill the kid here, you can't show up later. Can't you have the Dubbock take over some other person? Because it was the kid who warned her, so the kid has to be the one to kill her. And that takes over her dead body. But then that also, you can say, oh, well, the Dubbock was still inside the kid's dead body. That's why he didn't die. But when the Dubbock jumps from the kid to the best friend, the kid's just fine. And if the Dubbock can jump into dead bodies, then why does it jump from Idris Elba to the boyfriend? It didn't need to jump out of the body because it can possess dead bodies. They said, and according to what she says, it's hard to possess dead bodies for some reason. I don't know, but there's another plot hole when they start this thing. Gary Oldman says he's going to read it in Hebrew, and then Idris Elba is going to read it in English. The audience can hear it better, but they have to do it that way. But then at the end, after Idris Elba's dead, and you got, Casey reading in English, but then Gary Oldman's also reading in English. They're both reading in English. So what was the point? They get rid of the Dubbock, and now she's like, oh, I wonder why. It was after me. This is where it reveals that she's pregnant. However, I call bullshit again. Because this thing has been after her since the beginning of the film. From what we are shown at the end of this film, we are shown that the sex she has with her boyfriend in the middle of the damn film is where she got pregnant. So why was it after her before she got pregnant? Did it know she was going to be pregnant? Again, bullshit. You can't ever know that stuff. Didn't know, oh, she's going to become pregnant soon, so I got to start bugging her. It would make sense if they had sex in the first scene, then she has the dream right after that, because that's when baby is conceived. But no, the sex scene happens in the middle of the goddamn movie. And then we're supposed to believe that that is why it's after her. But it was after her before she got fucking pregnant. And if she was pregnant, why was she drinking? And I'm sure she didn't know, but fucking, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Typical Michael Bay bullshit. The writing, now David S. Goyer wrote this, but some of the dialogue had to be Michael Bay stuff. And I'm pretty sure he had the scenes where she's in her freaking underwear. She's wearing a wife beater or what do you call it? It's like a white tank top with these underpants that are so fucking tight you can see her fucking camel toe in a PG-13 film. I can't believe I'm sitting there and I'm going, I'm like, is that, you can almost see almost her entire vajayjay, alright? Her entire vajingo, you can almost see it. It's so tight that you can see it, man. It's like, good God, Michael Bay. Who gave her the awards? Why did she agree with this? This is just... I didn't hate this movie, but it is very obvious. Stock horror movie 101. Jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. Like, there's even literally a scene that I was expecting. A basic jump scare scene done in every bad horror movie ever made. She walks into the bathroom, and there's a mirror. She opens the mirror to the medicine cabinet, and you go to shut it. Jump scare. But, oh no, the first time it happened, nothing happened. Because you hear it tap, she opens it. I'm like, okay, here's the jump scare. Nothing. I'm like, oh. Okay, a little bit later, they do it again. No. I'm like, oh, they're going to do it now. Nothing. Now, I bet they were thinking, oh, hey, usually the jump scare happens when they shut it and there's a jump scare in the mirror. But this time, we're gonna subvert their expectations. We're just gonna have it jump out at her when she opens up the window, opens up the mirror. It's in the medicine cabinet, not the mirror. That's different. It's that same thing. You do it. You mess with us twice to make it seem like you're not gonna do it, and then you do the opposite basically by having it in the medicine cabinet other than the mirror. It's the same jump scare, just done differently. And there's jump scare. There's some creepy imagery like the old man and the dog with his head upside down. That's the one with the mask, but there's some creepy imagery, but it didn't do anything. And I don't usually bash PG-13 movies, but I think there's a reason why the Conjuring movies are rated R. They can go more with the demon exorcism aspect. Here, it's just cut and paste stuff that you have to dumb down. I mean, you have her in her freaking underwear with camel toe that pushes the PG-13 limit, but there's also an unrated version that apparently doesn't add anything. It's only a minute more. This movie, I didn't hate it. It's not terrible, but I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It really just, it frustrates me. The trailer showed me something different. It showed me that this was going to be a good movie, and then there were signs, and I ignored them. Michael Bay, ignore it. David S. Goyer, ignored it. And for what? David S. Goyer is not a bad director. I don't hate Blade Trinity, and I think this is a decently made horror film. But Michael Bay's involvement and just using stock stuff, like, I'm not saying that this movie is anything spectacular, but like the way it's kind of put together, if you know what I mean. Like, maybe not even that, because there's like 15 minutes go by where you don't get anything really. There's jump scares, but it's nothing that progresses the plot. There's no character development other than she's a twin. Like, I don't know. Boyfriend is there for the sake of being there. Maybe shows up twice before we finally have him in the IMAX. I don't know. Best friend is there to die. Nothing special, but yeah, so it's a 5 out of 10 for me. So what are your thoughts on the Unborn? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'm hoping I can do one more before I go to bed tonight. And then just do one more tomorrow. See. Till then, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.